What's going on again, everybody? I don't know what the hell that was. How's it going, everyone? Let's try that again. It's been a while since we've done this. What's up, Josh?
How you doing, man?
Good. Figured we'd do a podcast. I just got off of the Burning Rubber Radio. Those guys are awesome. And I guess one of the guys is like an actual chef for a couple of the race car teams, which is pretty fucking sweet. So, and I'm talking NASCAR. So
Okay.
we got some connections with those guys now, which is pretty sweet. I just wanted to do a podcast with you, and we haven't done one in quite some time. And
Yeah, it's been a
I already
while,
had
man.
I had the podcast set up. I'm like, man, what am I doing? I'm not working today, so screw it. Let's go. So how you been, man?
Doing pretty good, man.
Good. First off, congratulations. We named you the vice president of Warriors Next Adventure at our 2023 comedy show fundraiser. So I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah, man, it was a big surprise.
Yeah, I know, right? I got you to cry.
Yeah, I know, man. Jesse was like, there's going to be a surprise. And I'm like, What is it? I can't tell you. I'm like, okay, thanks for saying something.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I told him. But yeah, I called your mom and I was like, hey, can you get some family down here? And I was like, Josh doesn't know you're coming. And he doesn't know that I'm naming him the VP, and I wanted some of his family there to represent. So I'm glad she came. And was that your grandpa was there, and was your sister came
My
too,
sister
right?
was there, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. She seems cool.
It was a great night.
Dude, we raised $6,600 in a comedy show. It's amazing, And for those of you out there that enjoy comedy, you live in the Minnesota area, I think I told you this. I'm not sure. But I locked in May 31st for my first comedy production at the Doghouse Bar and Grill. So
awesome.
It's going to be called Doghouse Comedy, and we're going to be donating 50% of the proceeds to Warriors Next Adventure. So the way we're setting it up is we're selling tables for $50, which is like $12.50 per chair or whatever, because there's 4 chairs per table. And then we're doing $10 at the door for standing room. So we got potential to make about $2,000 per show if it fills up. And then what we'll do is we'll donate 50%, and then we'll be paying the comedians pretty decent. So I'll be hosting the show, so I get to practice some of my goofy, raunchy stand-up.
Yeah, it's pretty raunchy, man.
Dude, I had a few people come up to me after the show. They're like, you know what? I've listened to a lot of your podcasts, and I've heard you speak about mental health and all this stuff, and you're just such a well-spoken person. Why all the dick jokes? And I'm like, they're funny.
It's part of it.
I'm a very simple person. You say fart, it's gonna make me laugh. Which, speaking of, my dad knows me very well, and when I was a kid, I had a fart machine. And what I used to do is I used to put it in my pocket and go to like the Mall of America and just set it off. And he bought me one for Christmas.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
I'm such a child. I'm such a fucking child. But what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to bring that shit with me on some of the trips and just start jacking with people. I'm not going to tell anyone.
Nice choice of words.
Show, then I know, right? Wait, what?
Wait.
I miss you, man. I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
It's been a while. Yeah, we got to do something.
Busy. Well, I had to work a lot of construction over the last like two months just to help pay the bills and everything, and which was nice. I mean, because I own my own company, and I did pretty well, about $5-6 grand in about 2.5 months, which isn't bad. But as many people know that follow us, people know that we're starting a dispensary downtown St. Paul. And whatever you think about marijuana or whatever, I've used it when I first got out of the military for PTSD to help me with anxiety. I use it for sleep, and I have that herniated disc in my back right now, and it's literally the only thing that helps me get out of bed during the day. I personally don't like to be high, so I take like 5 milligrams. That's enough for me to be able to get up and move around and still be able to function and speak. I know there's tons of other veterans out there that, have had, injuries or whatever, and they don't want to go with opiates. And I personally was addicted to opiates in the military, and they just kept giving me Percocets and Oxys. They're like, yeah, just take one of each. I'm like, probably not smart, but I was dumb and young, and I was like, whatever. And about 6 months later, I'm still popping like 12 pills a day, and I didn't realize I had an issue until I left my pills at home one day, and I started freaking out, dude. Like, it was bad. And I don't remember who said something to me, but they asked me like, "Dude, you might be addicted to that shit." I'm like, "No," and I got all pissed off. I'm like, "Wait, maybe I am." So I dumped them down the toilet, and I haven't
It's
taken,
really easy.
dude, and it feels so good. Like it
That's
makes
the
me feel
thing.
so relaxed and chill. So it's like I'll never touch them again, man. It's just not for me. But the beautiful part is you are the GM of the store, which is awesome, and I appreciate you. And we're hoping to open up within the next
Thanks,
couple of
man.
weeks. Dude, I'm so excited.
Me too. It needs to happen.
So,
It's gonna happen. It'll be fine.
so as the GM, what is your vision for the store?
My vision. Well, first off, it's gonna look great.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about it. Everything when
I'm
we
so
walked into
excited.
that space, it was like everything that I thought that I wanted it to look like, it already looks like.
And I was like,
So
dude, I hate how much I love this place.
I know.
I didn't want to just be
It
the guy that's like, yes, we'll take it, but
yeah.
it's perfect, dude. We don't have to do any reconstruction, nothing. But
Except for
the beautiful
that's just that wall.
Yeah,
Just
and
building.
that'll be simple enough. We'll have to wait to put that wall up for a while just because we want money for it. But for those of you who don't know, when we open the dispensary, it's actually too big. So we're gonna take like 650 square feet and donate it to Warriors Next Adventure. So we will finally have an office and meeting space. And the best part is it's got its own door. So it's not going to be technically connected to the dispensary. So it'll be its own building, but we'll be paying for it at the Warriors Garden. So the nonprofit doesn't have to have any monthly fees. I talked to my buddy Nate at Comcast, and he's going to get us hooked up with internet out there too. So he's going to give us some good pricing too, which is awesome.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. And I guess he knows the mayor of St. Paul. And so when the nonprofit side opens, we're gonna do a meeting and try to have the mayor come down and do like a unveiling of the nonprofit side. And I didn't tell you this, but they haven't done it yet, but they found 3 laptops that they're gonna be donating to us.
Awesome.
So we'll have space for the computer room, one for the podcast studio, and then we'll have a couple just for shenanigans. I'm sure
That'll be good for having veterans come in and use computers when they can't.
Well, yeah, and then like we talked about, I want to start doing the meetings for the vets court people because if you don't know, most states have what's called a vets court. For those of you who don't know, and if you're a veteran and you get charged with something, I think it has to be a felony or felony level.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay, I didn't know that.
Not that I know.
But I know they have to go to. I think it's like 3 to 4 meetings a week, like social gatherings. And when I went down to vets court to do a presentation to the judge, something that I found was a lot of these vets are actually struggling to find groups. And so we're going to be doing a weekly group meeting just for vets court folks. So they can come out and have somewhere to go and actually get some information that's going to help them and not just be some bullshit group, And then we can get them connected to resources and all that shit. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we can start throwing out the men's group again. I'm still searching for a female vet to run the women's group, but I haven't really found one that's going to work out yet. So hopefully we can get somebody to take that on. It's just hard when it's like, like even the men's group, it's we kind of have a focus. We kind of have a pattern of what we talk about, but for the most part, it's kind of, whatever the room needs for the day. And I think all the men's groups that we've had so far have been pretty good.
Yeah, all the ones that I went to, I enjoyed and looked like everybody was, talking. They were actually interacting and getting what they needed out of it.
Well, the best part is like Mike and Scott really started to take over, which is great. I don't want to be the only one giving advice and talking. It'd be nice to have other people, sharing their experiences and stuff. And Carter, you met Carter, I think.
I don't know.
Kind of muscular dude. He's about 6 feet tall. I think you met him at the beach day. He's out playing bags and stuff. Super nice guy, but he has an unbelievable addiction story, and we're gonna have him on the podcast to talk about it soon. But he's gonna come out and help us out with the addiction group as well. And then I'm trying to get Mara to come out and help out with that too. So she doesn't work Thursdays now, so it'd be perfect to do it like Thursdays at like 4:00 or something like that. Because then she's an actual LADC licensed drug addiction counselor, and she's obviously has the knowledge and the education to be teaching that group. I have experience, unfortunately, struggling with addiction and stuff, but I think I want to make it more legit. I want to make sure that there's information getting put out there that is really going to help people. So
definitely.
But weird. Our Instagram is still just starting. Strange. So yeah, what's new, dude? What do you want to do this year, man?
What do I want to do? What's my goals for 2024?
Yeah, dude.
When we get that store going, that's going to be my main focus. Just making sure that everything fits. I like things that match, so everything needs to match. We have to have we're going to have sales goals, we're going to have informational goals, just making sure that anytime somebody comes through the door, if they have any questions, we're able to answer them, make them feel like this is a place that they want to go to. It's not just a stop, I need to go grab my whatever they want to get from the store. It's like it's actually an experience and not just a place that you go.
100%, dude. I really hope that comedy room works out too. I think we can do it, and I think it'll look great. I don't see it in my head yet. I got to get in the store and figure out how much space.
I was thinking that too. It has plenty of space. It's just about mapping it out and making sure that we're not like trying to cram stuff, and so everything feels like it has its own space.
Yeah, I mean, if we end up thinking about it and the space is just too small to do the nonprofit, the comedy, and whatever, we'll just give the nonprofit a bigger space, because we don't need 2,800 square feet for a dispensary. That's way too big. But then that side area for when cannabis goes legal, I think that's the perfect section for it. Just once we get those walls up, and I mean, the bathrooms are super nice. Like, dude, I love everything about this building. I cannot wait. So
it is perfect.
We're just waiting on the landlord to okay everything. So fingers crossed, dude. I'm so done with construction. Like, I'm going to the pain clinic on Wednesday, and they're gonna check the X-rays and do an MRI and everything. And I guess I have arthritis in my spine.
Yep, me too.
Good to know. So they're
degenerative arthritis.
Yeah, dude. Like, I got 2 discs. Like, my L4 and 5 are like just mush, dude. So I'm hoping I'm probably gonna have to get surgery, and I just want to get it done. The quicker I can get it done, the better. But the problem is I'm not gonna be able to walk around much for the first like 2 weeks. So.
Or roll.
Oh yeah, I'll be out of jiu-jitsu for 3-4 months, which sucks. I got a tournament this weekend, so I'm gonna try to get one more in before the surgery. Yeah. So I can't make it any worse. I mean, I'm sure I can, but
yeah, it might.
I don't know. We'll see.
You'll be fine.
I'm gonna talk to him at the meeting at the appointment on Wednesday and figure out what's going on. But I wanted to go over a little bit about everything that we're doing this year. So far, we have March 16th. We got the Exploring with Grace 5K. For those of you who don't know, Grace was a young lady that was working for us when we were traveling around the country back in 21. And unfortunately, shortly after the tour, she took her own life. And that was a pretty heavy hit on me. I think I was bawling like a little girl when I called you, dude. But their family is some of the most resilient people I've ever met. You got to meet them last year too, and they're some amazing people. And they're putting on a 5K every year on Grace's birthday. And in memory of Grace, all the money that they raise, they donate to 3 separate nonprofits. And I feel like a jerk. I can't remember the other 2 nonprofits, but one of them gives jiu-jitsu to underprivileged kids. Another one gets underprivileged kids out hiking, and they take them like camping and stuff like that. And then they chose a veteran nonprofit for mental health. And they chose Warriors Next Adventure. And last year they ended up donating, I believe it was $17,000, which was unbelievable. Super big help for what we got. This year, I want to say last year they were capped at 400. This year, I think they're boosting it to like 5, which that's a lot of people, dude. Which is nice because I get to give a speech. And then, as many of you know, I started stand-up comedy last year, and I booked a guest spot at Bombs Away Comedy too. So Saturday after the race, we're going over to Bombs Away Comedy, and I guess the Lewis family's coming to the comedy show too.
Awesome, dude.
I'm like, it's not appropriate, just so you know.
Oh, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna love it.
Oh yeah. Well, Kim and Mike they're super nice people, and Grace's mom and dad. they're hilarious too. You know, it's really hard to sit and joke around for the reason of why we're doing the 5K.
Yeah.
But when they, you know, when they loosened up a little bit, it was nice to just sit and joke around and hang out with them. Super nice people.
Yeah, you could
The food,
tell when you know, they still have those emotions and they process it pretty well. Like it was heavy at first, but then everything seemed like this is just what we're supposed to be doing right now. Like this
yeah.
is how you honor her and what they're doing with the money and just everybody that comes out. Like it was a
Well, the
great
beauty
time.
was all the stories, talking to everyone that knew Grace personally.
Hmm.
I unfortunately didn't get to meet her when we went to Cincinnati for she had something going on that day and couldn't make it. And I had a gi for her and a rash guard. I was going to send it to her, but she, you know, after the tour, she stopped answering me. And unfortunately I found out why. Um, but she was a badass. She was only 17 years old. And I found out halfway through the tour, this girl would call me every day at like 9 a.m., whatever time zone I was in. And she'd ask me, hey, where are you going to end up tonight? What kind of food do you want to eat? And she'd call like 10 restaurants and see what deals she could get. And we ate for free like 10 times on that trip, dude. It was awesome. It saved us a lot of money. And a couple of the restaurants actually donated a certain percentage of sales after the jiu-jitsu seminars. And she helped us raise, I think, a little over like $3,000, which is phenomenal. And then I find out halfway through the tour, I actually got a call from one of my old flight chiefs in the Air Force. And he's like, hey, one of my cadets really wants to meet you. I'm like, sure. Yeah. He's like, yeah, her name is Grace. I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, how old is she? He's like, oh, she's like 17. And I'm like, oh my God. So I called Grace and I'm like, hey, do your parents know you're working with me? She's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right, cool. Just want to make sure. And then when I found out about Grace, I talked to Kim, Grace's mom, and she's like, yeah, we didn't know. So Grace was helping out multiple nonprofits without telling people about it because she just wanted to do it. She
It's
was
just
such an
what she
amazing
did.
person. God, if I could have like 3 Graces help and volunteer for the nonprofit, dude, we'd be amazing. She was she was a fantastic person. So it's it's fun to go down there and run in her honor. You know, last year was the first time I ran in like 6 years. So I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't
I
about to.
dude, I did the 5K in 28 minutes though, which is pretty phenomenal for a guy that doesn't run. Like I
And it was
have decent
freezing.
fitness. It was
It was
cold.
so cold.
I think it was like 32 degrees or something like that.
It felt like negative 32,
It
dude.
was windy as shit. I was like, oh God. I stopped twice for like 10 seconds and I was just like, no, you bitch, get running. Like you don't get to walk. But this year we got about 6 or 7 vets that are traveling in to do it with us. And 2 of them, Sydney from the comedy show, she's driving up from Nashville. And I gave her the link to hopefully she can get on the comedy show too. So
Awesome.
either way, she's gonna come to the show and hang out and stay at the house with us. I think Mara's coming too, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So it'd be nice to have her down. So we got like 2 guys working the booth. And then I should have wrote all these down.
So you got the race, the comedy, and that's all for the Cincinnati trip.
Yep, that's Cincinnati, and then April I'm actually heading down to Florida. Steve's having me come down for the fishing gala, and I'm actually
Okay.
taking Tim with me. And so Tim is a veteran who I will have in this podcast very soon. His story is phenomenal. Such a good guy. They were attacked in Iraq in 2004, and he took a grenade to the head. Like that guy's a gangster, dude. He rolled over on his back when he came to, and he was getting dragged by a squad leader, and the dude's pulling cover fire with a 249, missing half his skull. That's fucking crazy, dude. And shortly after, their squad leader ended up dying in Iraq on his next deployment. So on our way down to Florida, we're driving. We're actually picking up Sergeant Prater's son, and we're taking him fishing with us. I guess he's 21 years old now.
Awesome,
So he's coming
man.
down to Florida with us to go fishing and iguana hunting, which surprisingly is a lot of fun. And
Okay.
you know, I know, right? When
That sounds
Steve
like
told me
some
there,
Florida shit.
yeah, some Florida man shit for sure. And Steve, like, you know, Steve from X22 Adventures, shout out to Steve. He started X22 after calling us on the crisis line, and this guy has been helping so many veterans down in Florida. And with the little amount of money that the guy's raised, I'm shocked at how much he's done. I think last year he was at like $12,000, and he started in 2020.
Yeah.
And he's taken, I think last year he took like 150 veterans fishing. Like,
Yeah.
how are you doing that? Like, he's paying for half of it himself.
That's all he does.
Dude, yeah. So part of what we're going to do with the Warriors Garden, which is our dispensary we're going to be opening up, it is not related to the nonprofit. However, we are going to be housing the nonprofit in there. And what I want to do eventually, once we get our, our stuff together, I want to start donating $1,000. I want to start doing $1,000 a month to a different nonprofit, smaller nonprofit. It's not going to be like Wounded Warrior, but I'm going to put a post on Facebook at the end of each month and say, I want to know a nonprofit that has directly helped you, and tag them. And then on the first of every month, we'll pick a nonprofit, donate $1,000 so we can start spreading the wealth a little bit. Because there's a lot of money in the cannabis industry, and I plan on using it as much as possible. And to get around all the legal stuff with taking donations from cannabis companies, legally, if you take a donation from a cannabis company, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not allowed to take government grants, which we don't do anyway. So what we're going to be doing is the money's actually be coming from Warriors Next Adventure. So that way we get around all the, the legal BS too. So other nonprofits don't got to worry about that, which is nice. And so Steve, I'm going to try to do my best to help get him a bunch of money coming in too, because he's doing some amazing things down in Florida. He just moved to Port St. Lucie, which is like right off the coast. And he was telling me he's got freshwater fishing within like a mile, and he's got like the ocean itself is only 10 minutes away. So he's in like a perfect location to take guys fishing. So I'll be down there April 24th. I think I'm going down. And we'll be down there. I'm down there till like May 5th, because I guess AJ and Shiloh Harris are going down there too. And we're going to do some comedy down in
Awesome,
the coast.
dude.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to head down to Miami one day and go train jiu-jitsu at A&M Jiu-Jitsu with my buddy Drew Phoenix. And then I just talked to Milton from the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast too. So I might be going on their podcast again too, which will make my 5th appearance. I don't know why they want to talk to me still. Well, I guess now that I'm a brown belt, I can, they want to talk to me about
Oh,
that.
yeah. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks,
Long
man.
time coming.
Dude, I've been training 16 years, like August to be 17. And I had a lot of time off. I was a gym hopper too. So like when you bounce from gym to gym, you don't get promoted. So a lot of it was my fault. But if I never would have quit, I would have been a black belt like 7 years ago. But, life gets in the way.
Definitely.
But, dude, they beat the shit out of me that night too. So
yeah.
we do.
That's what you got to do.
I think you've seen it, but we do the gauntlet similar to when you get promoted in the military. Yep. Everyone punches you in the arm or whatever. They whip you in the back with their belts. Like you don't have to do it at our gym. It's not mandatory. If you get promoted and you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
Yeah, but you like it, so
I kind of do. I like the pain. Dude, I had whip marks on my back too. I came home and Mara's like, "Did you get promoted?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
You should have been like, "Wait, promoted."
I wasn't at jiu-jitsu. It's nice that she knows that I go to jiu-jitsu, because I would come home with marks all over my body. Would have been a little sketchy otherwise.
I know, right?
I got a big announcement that I can't really talk about, and I don't know if I told you about it, but I will finally be doing some motivational speaking for the Air Force.
Okay, yeah, we talked about
that. Okay, and I'm not going to go too much into it and everything, but I've been working on this for about a year, and it's finally going to happen. So
more than a year, bro.
Yeah, well, I think
almost 2.
I think it was 2022 or 2021 when I finally got like pissed off at the Air Force. And I'm like, there's something more that needs to be done. So I did one speech for the Air Force back in 2022, and that went fantastic. It went great. I got a lot of different vets and guard members that were really interested in the program. One of them's a female, and she wants to race this year. So we might have our first female race car driver this year.
Awesome.
Pretty excited about that. But brain.
Motivational speaking.
Fucking brain injuries. Yeah, so I'll be up there for a couple days, and I can't say where, can't talk about it right now, but very soon we'll be releasing where we're going. So that'll be like the 4th week of March. I'll be gone for about 4 or 5 days, and I'll finally be able to be speaking to active duty Air Force. I'm so excited. If any of you guys are active military and you think that your squadron or platoon or whatever, it's different. The Air Force is squad.
Whatever branch, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys think that you would benefit from motivational speaking, resiliency training, suicide prevention, and also jujitsu seminars, because I'm a brown belt now, and I've been doing them already as a purple belt, but there's a lot of things in jujitsu that really help with mental health, physical fitness, stuff like that. That's why we push it in our jujitsu program so hard. And sorry, I'm reading comments. Todd said we've never seen without a hat. Take your hat off, dude.
We're not doing it. It's
They
not
want to
happening.
see the silver fox.
Nah, man.
So yeah, if any of you guys have any ideas, or you guys are, E9s, E8s, we have a couple of E9s that are facilitating some potential speeches for us, which is amazing. We do charge for the nonprofit, but the main thing is to pay for travel, stuff like that, and then the rest gets donated to the nonprofit. So you guys get to have us come out. You guys get to have quite a few speeches. I think this next trip I'm doing like 7 speeches, dude, to I think of like 500-600 people. So it's going to be big. I'm super excited. But my goal eventually is to go to every single Air Force base, and I'm going to do it, damn it, because I said I was going to do it. Now I have to. So that'll be in March. April, we'll be down in Florida doing some fishing. May 31st, we'll be producing our first comedy show at the Doghouse. That is not through the nonprofit. However, I am going to be promoting the nonprofit and donating 50% of the profits to the nonprofit. So we're looking at about anywhere from $400 to about $1,000 getting donated to the nonprofit, depending on how many people we have show up. And we've already got people left and right reaching out, asking for VIP. I'm like, man, I got to create VIP stuff now. So if you want to pay it, we'll do it. Let's go. And I'll be the host of that too, so I get to get a lot more comedy in. And we're hoping after this show, we'll start doing like monthly shows, which I guarantee we can do because I already have like 10 headliners that have reached out to me.
So, shout out to the Doghouse, man.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Chad and Mike at the Doghouse. You guys are awesome. And dude, the best part is like it's my show, so we get the tickets, we get the door, we get everything. And then after I think about 8:15 or so, they're going to start charging the door for the band, because we have live music afterwards too. So if you want to buy a table, it's $50, 4 chairs, and you get to stay for live music afterwards too. It's a pretty good deal, and you support a local nonprofit.
It's always fun.
In June or July, we're looking at doing a Boundary Waters canoe trip. That is going to be for Minnesota local veterans only, mainly because I want to make sure to get the local Minnesota vets doing more. I already have about 3 or 4 guys that I definitely want to take with. One of them is Tim. I told Tim I'd take him out there. So that'll be a lot of fun. Me and you have been talking about potentially doing a motorcycle ride, which what would your idea be for a motorcycle ride for vets?
I was thinking about that because, me and you have done 2 rides, 1 ride. I don't know.
I think we did 2 with Momentum Mori, a
Yep.
nonprofit that I helped start for law enforcement.
I think maybe I should get with them and see how, because it'll be my first time doing something for us instead of just participating. So I kind of want to
I'll connect you with TJ too. TJ will help you out with that.
Sounds
and
good,
I
man.
think that's something that you should head up.
Yep.
And hopefully by that time we have a couple employees that are good enough to where they can work at the store, and me and you can go do the ride, because it'd be good to have the VP out there, but it'd be good to have both of us out there too. Plus,
for sure,
I want to ride too.
I know, right? I want to ride all the time, like every day.
I got to get my license so I can be a big boy instead of having my permit.
Maybe.
Hopefully by then I'll get it done. We'll see. Maybe we could do it at the Doghouse. We could start there and go.
Yeah,
to
I was thinking about that. Yeah,
it's their parking lot's good. And their parking lot's huge.
Yep.
So
right on the
maybe
side there for a meetup, or we can meet up really anywhere and end there. Either way.
Well, maybe what we can do too is like charge a straight fee or whatever, and it'll get you into the Doghouse, and we can bring in a band or something like that too.
Yep,
I'm sure they'd be down with it.
Yeah. So when are you thinking?
I don't know, June, July.
Okay.
I might potentially be going to Buffalo around 4th of July. There's a gym out there. Damn it, brain. Integrity Martial Arts. Last year they did a fundraiser for us and raised like $1,500, which is amazing. And Jody, yes, I will be at Bombs Away Comedy. I actually have a couple extra tickets, so if you want one, reach out to me. Shoot me a text. Bombs Away Comedy at 9:00 will be out in Cincinnati. I think that's March 16th. But anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know.
ADHD. Squirrel. Oh yeah, so 4th of July I might be going out to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So once I figure that out with the gym owner, we're gonna be doing another fundraiser for WNA. So what he did was last time he's a black belt and he charged like I think $10 a roll or something like that. And if you tap him, you get a certain prize or whatever. But he's like, dude, I don't know if I could do that again, man. And he's like, I rolled like 45
Yeah.
times. I'm like, how about this? I'll come out there, I'll do it with you, and then I'll try to find a black belt, a veteran who's a black belt, and bring him out too, so we can have 3 rolls going at the same time. And everyone who taps one of us will get a WNA rash guard.
Okay,
So
that's a good deal.
they only cost us like $16. We sell them for, I think we sell them for 40. I don't remember. We get a pretty good margin on those, but people love the rash guards, and I think that'll be a good fundraiser. So if I end up going out there, I'm going to stay for a couple days. I'm probably going to drive and hit up there's a VFW in Michigan that wants me to come out and speak. So I'm going to try to coordinate that and hit them up on the way and then see my buddy Tom. And then I'll be in Buffalo, and then I'll probably go over to Glens Falls out to there's a jiu-jitsu gym that I helped start another nonprofit out there called Rolling for Resilience. And I want to hit those guys up too. And probably go down, damn it. I got to go down to like New York too, and train at the Tracks BJJ in New York because I mean that's our affiliate gym. I got to hit them up too, and then I'll roll back. July we don't really have much planned aside from that. We may or may not do some barbecues at my dad's this year because he lives up in Forest Lake, and then I definitely want to do at least 2 to 3 beach days again this year because I think that was great.
It was a good day.
And, yeah, dude, we had like 60 people out there last
Yep.
time. I was shocked at how many people showed up. You know, free food. Can't say no to that. But it works out nice because it's like a thank you. And then I wasn't even going to ask for donations or anything, but I had a bunch of people come up, and I think we ended up raising like $80. You know, a couple people threw 5s and 10s in there, which is nice. So I mean that paid for the food. So we'll probably do that at Lake Josephine a few times again because I think that's a good spot for it with the paddle boards and everything. And then August, we got a busy month in August. So regardless if we're going to be one of the recipients again for the golf tournament for the Military Heroes Foundation, we're likely going to be getting a slot anyway. Awesome. So I'll take 3 vets golfing, whether we're recipients or not. We're still going to be there. And then we're working out the 5K, and we will potentially be partnering up with 23rd veteran, because last year I accidentally planned the 5K on the same day as they had their Twin Cities one.
Yeah.
So me and Mike, the founder, we talked about potentially doing the race at the same place. So doing the 5K from like 9 to 11, and then hang out, stay there, do it on the same place, and then do the ruck march right afterwards. And then if you do the 5K and the ruck march at the same time, we're going to have a special coin made with Warriors Next Adventure on one side and 23rd Veteran on the other, which would be pretty sweet. Yeah. We actually had a couple people come to the 5K and then just dart out and go straight to the ruck march too. So that was actually pretty cool.
So it'd be better to put them together.
Yeah. And, I told him we can split the fees. And he's like, no, dude, trust me. He's like, we spend a lot of money on this and we make a lot of money. Just you'll pay your portion. That's it. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to say no to that. They have way more money than we do too. Lift Bridge Brewing makes a certain beer, and they donate all the money to 23rd Veteran, which is pretty sweet. And they've done a couple things with 93X, which is awesome. So I got to go on there. I think it was in August last year, and that was awesome because Dana and what's his name? God damn it. You watch the morning show, right?
I don't.
The Half-Ass Morning Show?
Nope.
Fucking A, my brain is not working today.
Can't help you with this one, man.
A couple of the guys added me on Facebook, and they comment on all our stuff all the time, which is pretty sweet. So we're getting traction from 93X, which is awesome. And then let's see. The 4th week of August, we're doing the Colorado trip we're full on that one. We cannot take any more because we're at like 13 people, and it's going to be like 10 grand this year. So the Exploring with Grace 5K is going to pay for that, which is awesome. And then it'll help pay for a couple other things too. And then as of now, we just have the Veterans Day comedy show, which I'm working on a comedian for that right now. And that's pretty much what we got planned so far for this year.
We got to think of something for winter.
I know. Oh, dude, check this out. I was messing around on the Printful page the other day.
Yeah.
And we do, by the way, for everyone, if you got to get some of the WNA merch, you can go to our website and go to the store, and 100% of whatever you guys buy goes directly back into the nonprofit. So first off, thank you ahead. But I found out they have hockey jerseys on there. So I made a Warriors Next Venture hockey jersey, and I bought one because I want to see what it looks like. And if they're actually pretty legit, I put two up. One of them has the number 22 on it, obvious reasons. And then I put another jersey up that has no numbers. So if people want to have their numbers printed on
personalized,
it, yeah. But I talked about joining the Minnesota Sentinels this winter, but my back, there's no way I could play hockey this year. My back is too jacked up. So maybe we'll talk to Captain Eric, and we can start doing some joint stuff with those guys in the winter. And we were going to do ice fishing this winter, but I mean, there's almost no ice on half the lakes right now.
Yep.
So kind of hard to go ice fishing.
I can't remember who we were talking to at the bags tournament, but it doesn't matter. I didn't want to play hockey just by myself, but if we're doing it, I will.
Yeah, I think that was Minnesota Warrior. Minnesota Warriors. Yeah,
that sounds right.
The Sentinels they're a break off of the Minnesota Warriors.
Okay.
And I know about 4 or 5 of those guys. They're super nice guys. So if we were to partner up, and I'm not saying anything negative about Minnesota Warriors, but we'll probably team up the Sentinels. It'll be their thing. We'll just be out there representing.
Exactly. WNA. Yeah, I'll do that.
And then maybe, I mean, shit, if we get like 8 or 9 guys, I'll get jerseys for everyone, and we can have a game against them or something.
That'd be fun.
They're gonna kick our ass.
I don't know about all that.
Because they actually play. You played in high school, right?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
For Forest Lake?
Yeah.
We had to have played against each other.
We had to. No, because it depends, because we were different. We both played junior gold, right?
Yeah. I was in the C team because I sucked.
Yeah, we had I think one of the years we had an A team, and one of the years we had like both B teams. So that's the only reason we probably wouldn't have played.
Yeah, my dad was a coach too, and he's like, I'll just teach the C team. He's like, because my son sucks, and that's probably where he's going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
That's probably why. But dude, I was just awful. I think my senior year, I was one of the leading scorers though. But I also I might have set a record for the most penalty minutes in a box too.
Oh, me too, dude. Penalty minutes. No, they recorded ejections as penalty minutes, so I definitely beat you.
Oh yeah, dude. I think I got in a fight every single game my senior year, and that's back when they actually let us fight. And dude, that was half the fun of the hockey. I loved it. I loved the fights. That was like, I grew up watching Boogie, the Boogeyman.
Yep.
I love that dude. Like, he'd beat the shit out of everybody. So I think MMA was a good route for me after that.
Yeah,
it worked out pretty well. But yeah, maybe
hockey would be fun, man.
We have the Lauderdale ice rink, which is where my mom lives, and nobody ever uses it. We could totally do hockey days there.
That'd be
easily fun. Yeah, and maybe we get like a food truck out there too. And have you eaten Smoke Session with me yet?
No.
Oh my god, I can't believe. So believe it or not, the best brisket I've ever had in my life is done by a Hmong guy that owns Smoke Session Barbecue. It's a food truck that parks right by my house. You know all those food trucks you park?
Yeah, in the little square there. Yeah.
Dude, bro, I'm telling you, this guy makes the best brisket I've ever had. And I've been all over the country, man. This shit is amazing. So
nice.
Maybe I can talk him into coming out, and he charges quite a bit for stuff like that. But either way, he can pre-make it for us, and we can just serve it,
for sure.
So we could probably just end up doing that. But maybe we'll get a couple pounds of brisket and, have a bunch of guys out there. The heating room in there kind of sucks, but hopefully we'll do it on a day that's
depending on what's going on with the store and everything. We'll be able to coordinate everything.
Oh yeah. Well, it works out nice because I talked to my sister again, and she's definitely game to come work for us, which is awesome. Um, hey, by the way, for everyone listening in a group, in a Facebook group, just so you know, we cannot see who you are. So you have to allow StreamYard to show your name. So we got a couple people that are listening in some of the groups and they're commenting. I don't know who you are. All it says is Facebook user. So if you're in a group, either just put your name after your comment or allow StreamYard for us to see who you are so we can actually chat with you. Looks like one of my troopers is listening. I don't know who you are, bro. I'm sorry. But yeah, we have so much potential. And the good thing is with the dispensary opening up too, money's not going to be an issue anymore. You know, I could keep all the money and just get rich, which sounds pretty sweet. But I'm gonna end up. My goal is to donate $50,000 to $100,000 a year, and if we're clearing 200 to 300, there's no reason why I can't. I live a pretty frugal life, so it's not like I'm spending a lot of money. So I just gotta poke Mara with a stick a little bit and tell her, no, you can't get a Land Rover. She's like, she was like, dude, she's got a Chevy Cruze, I believe. That thing's in the shop like every week. That thing's a piece of shit. And I'm like, dude, just get a new car. She's like, I want a Land Rover. I'm like,
oh my God.
you can't afford it. B, it's like $700 a month. That's stupid. No. But my goal is to help her get through college, and she's in her master's program right now too. She's so friggin' smart, dude. So I'm like, how about this? I'll invest in you, help you get through college. You get paid a shitload of money and make me rich. How's that sound? She's like, deal. So it works them out. I'm just excited to get going, man. Like, this wait has been just obnoxious.
It's just gonna be so much fun. I want to like play around with all the like deals, see what's track all the analytics. That's the kind of shit that makes me like I want to play with it. Like it's
Yeah. Well, you're the GM, homie. That's all
I
you.
know, dude. I can't
That's
wait.
all you, man. And the thing is too, I'm not the kind of guy like. I mean, you've been working with me for 3 years ish.
Yeah, about.
And I'm very open to letting people just go. Do what you think is best. And the reason why I wanted to bring you in is mainly because A, you have more knowledge than me in this, but B, we have a good working relationship. And, I hope you understand that no matter what you want to do, I'm going to let you do it. Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like the sales stuff and all that, I'm just super excited. What's up, Justin? How you doing? Justin, I'm going to try to come out around 4th of July era and hopefully get some rolls in with you guys, but I'll let you know. I'll hit you up later. I'm just excited to get going, dude. Like, when it comes to the organization of the store and everything, that's all you and Tori and Mara. Like, you guys can handle that because I don't have that eye. I'm just like, fuck it, just set it down. People will buy it. We're good. And that's where I think we've created a pretty good team. So
yeah, that's them for like visuals and all that. That's not me, but like as far as like marketing campaigns and stuff like that.
I've been poking around on Amazon Business, and I found a bunch of display stuff. So different like display things for like the labels and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I found, and that I found a couple display cases and a few other things. We still got to get at least one fridge. Yep. Sean, we don't have an open date yet, but we're hoping in the next couple of months.
We're playing lawyer games.
I know, right, dude? Those lawyers are expensive too. So we're looking at it, if any of you guys are familiar with St. Paul, we're in Lower Town. So if you go right next to the Saint Stadium, one block east,
northwest.
Yeah. So one block west is the St. Paul Farmers Market, and then one block north of that. Yeah. One block north of that, we're just north of the St. Paul Farmers Market at the old Chuck and Don's. So my goal is within the next like 10 days, we can get in there. We have a 15-day grace period too before the rent starts, so we can get the keys. So hopefully we can get in there, get everything organized, get all of the stuff down there, and just get ready to go. And the day that we pay for rent, we're open and running. So
hell yeah, man.
We don't have a lot we need to do. Just got to organize those shelves for now.
Yep. Take some of them out, put some of them as a temporary wall. have everything delivered, put up the system, mess around with the system. It's not. It's gonna take
Yeah.
a couple days.
The system itself is going to be probably the hardest part, just learning the system.
Oh yeah,
And we got
pushing the
Kyle for that.
buttons.
Yeah. We could probably throw Kyle some money and have him come up and train us too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be fine with that. And then
Yeah,
I
shout
just
out to
talked to
Kyle, man.
hell yeah,
I just
Kyle
stop down
Dmitry.
there every once in a while and just start asking him a bunch of questions. And he's like, "Who are you again?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just a guy. Tell
I
me
was just in
everything."
talking. I was just in talking to Melissa and Charlie down at the St. Louis
Oh,
Park
yep.
store, and Charlie said that this distribution will only take like 2 days. So,
Perfect.
which I'm so happy we have that lift. It's going to make our life
I
so
know,
much
right?
easier.
Everything about that space is really good,
Yeah,
except for uh, making use of the space,
yeah,
and we'll figure it out as we go.
sure. Yeah, I think we're going to get a pallet jack too, just to make our lives easier. Throw
Yeah,
everything on a
probably.
pallet, and
Uh-huh.
that way we don't have to mess
We
around
may
with all
not
that.
even actually even need to use the lift because of the shelving that's right there as soon as you open that garage door.
Yeah,
Depends. We'll see
well,
what we want to do
the
with it.
initial stock we're going to have to just to put everything on the
Oh
floor,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
other than that, it'll be pretty simple. So, and the thing is, dude, none of this would have happened if I wouldn't have started Warriors Next Adventure, because I wanted to learn
Mm-hmm.
about business. This nonprofit has completely changed my life, and I didn't know a thing about business before I started this. I mean, I owned a lawn mowing business when I was 13, but
Yeah,
that doesn't really count. Um, but no, like when I started this, it's when I really started to dig into business and marketing and social media and all that stuff. And I was a YouTube university nut, dude. I was on YouTube every day learning how to do all this stuff. And when I started Invoke Change, my goal, obviously we communicated about what I want Invoke Change to be, and I still plan on doing that. But this store kind of opens us up to have the money to do what we want to do with that,
yep,
to do the seminars and stuff like that. So if I can keep doing these Air Force speeches and get a little bit more speeches behind my belt and figure out what works, stuff like that. Because with neurolinguistic programming, you have to use it or you lose it. Like I use it every day when it comes to the nonprofit and working with people. But in those seminar settings, I need to just do it and start. So eventually, once the store's open, we'll have money to book a Holiday Inn or something like that, and
for
really
sure.
start going after it. And then me and Josh can really start changing some lives.
That'd be nice, man.
This store is it's just a moneymaker for all of our dreams for the most part.
It's yeah. It's gonna
Well, and
be
then
partly uh it's practice. It's something that we can implement the other things in this side of because it's not actually part of Warriors Next Adventure, but everything that
yeah,
that Warriors Next Adventure is about, it's going to be represented over on this side as well.
100%. Well, and like we do our best to help vets with every aspect of life. When it comes to helping vets overcome PTSD, we got that pretty locked down. With the crisis line, I mean, I've been in crisis intervention for 19 years, so I'm pretty good at that. Relationships, I've been pretty good at helping people with that aspect of it, especially now that I have a pretty amazing relationship, and I have a partner that understands mental health, and we can have these kind of deep conversations consistently. I mean, most of the time when we go lay down in bed, we're talking about philosophy of therapy, healing, all kinds of stuff, and it's what fuels both of us, so it really helps. But the side that when it comes to business, helping people start businesses and marketing, I got that too. But when it comes to like financial freedom, I don't really have that yet, and
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
don't.
teach from something that you haven't really achieved.
Exactly. It's like a motivational speaker who's like 14 trying to fucking tell you how to live your
Yeah,
life.
let
Like,
me
fuck
tell
off.
you.
It's like,
Who?
no,
What?
dude, sorry, bud. You need somebody with experience. And I think that's why what we do with WNA works so well is because we both have been in pretty shitty situations when it comes to mental health, and we've gotten ourselves out. Um, you know, we've gotten to a point where we're doing pretty damn good. But I want to be doing great, and this store is going to get us to
Exactly.
that next point. That's just the next step for us is the financial freedom aspect of it. And once we get there, we can really start helping vets with that. And dude, I'm serious. Like I want to start a veteran Shark Tank one day. Like
That'd be
my
pretty cool.
goal is I want to have 10 businesses in the next like 10 years. Not my businesses, but like I want a piece of other people's businesses, cuz the biggest issue for most businesses starting especially ones that need capital, similar to the ones that we're doing. It's about $45,000 to get started, and it's really hard to get that investment money. Luckily for me, I have some pretty amazing people that have been following me with the nonprofit, and they believed in me.
So you just
But
want to turn around and replicate that.
yeah, dude, like I want to be able to help other people get businesses started. And the biggest issue with most vets when they get out of the military is purpose,
Yeah.
and what better purpose than to have your own business and be your own boss? It's amazing. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of people that try to open businesses and fail pretty immediately. It's just because that's not, what's that test called? It's the Brigham.
I don't know.
Man, brain is not working today. I'm gonna Google it real quick. So it's like the four personalities, and when it comes to like business, you can attribute those businesses. Like there's one that's like a servant, one that's servant's not the right word. Support, I should say. There's the entrepreneurs, there's the managers, and then there's the workers. I think it's a Brigham. I'm looking it up right now. What is that damn thing? Okay, anyone listening, the personality test, if you guys can remember what it is, go ahead and throw it in the comments there, because I'm having a brain fart and it's driving me nuts. 1 second here. The Brigham Myers, I think it's called.
That sounds familiar. Myers something.
Myers-Briggs.
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, Myers-Briggs type indicator. There we go. I'm not stupid. But it's I might be. I don't know. I want to look up the 4 categories. 1 second here. There's a purpose behind me going down this road. I just got to get better at the Google machine. I need a Jamie, dude. There we go.
Did you know that Red Band used to be the producer of Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, you helped him start, dude.
Dude.
Awesome. Oh, here we go. So we got introversion and extroversion, sensing and intuition, thinking and feeling, and judging and perceiving. And it focuses on those certain types of personalities, and it kind of shows you what your strengths are. And I went to a seminar a couple of years ago. There you go. Thanks, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to a seminar and we went over this stuff, and I went into the category. I didn't realize it because you just answered certain questions and then you go to the category you're supposed to go. And I was in the entrepreneur category. And the way he explained it was, these people are the C students in high school.
Okay.
These are the kids that like to fuck off and just go do what they really want to do. These are the entrepreneurs. These are the people that say, you know what, I'm going to go do this, and they're going to go do it. And then the other section was like the support, like the HR people, the people that like to support. And there's nothing wrong with any one of these categories. You are what you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's really hard to go from a support role to go to the leadership role if that's not something that that you're built for. You can do it, and you can train yourself to get to it, but
whatever comes naturally to you.
Yeah, exactly. And you're a fantastic leader, but you are one of the best support people I've ever come in contact with. Especially, what was your job in the military again?
I was a cavalry scout.
No, but you're talking about with the generals walking around with those
guys?
I
was a PSD. Personal security detail.
Yeah, but so like you walked around.
I had to know what the mission was. I had to know where we're going, what we're doing, who's going to be there, what routes we're taking, what time I need to be where, what direction I need to be facing, all of that.
And you're great at that. Remember the day we went to the VA? You're like, Nick, this way, let's go. Yeah, I'm just following you. It was perfect. But the best part about the pairing of us is, the big part is we're both dreamers. You're a little bit more secure, and I'm a little bit more, off the wall, gung ho, like fuck it, let's go. So it works out perfectly because your analysis of certain situations of things that we want to do or projects or events or whatever, without a lot of your analysis on how to do these certain things, man, like I could do it, sure, but
it's like a spotter and a sniper, man.
Exactly, 100%, dude. You're fantastic at helping me see the holes that I don't pay attention to. And
I think there's a reason why you like belt-fed machine guns.
Yeah, just
because you
fuck
just want to fucking spray, bro. And I'm like, walk it in, dude.
it. That's a perfect analogy. Yes, I
Yeah,
love my 50 cal. My 240, that was my baby though. Um, but no, it's a perfect pairing, and I think that's something that businesses tend to lack is a good team, right? You have to have your good workers and you have to have your good leaders, and if your leaders aren't a team, it's going to fall apart,
for sure.
and I think that's why the nonprofit has been doing so well over the last year and a half, um, especially some since naming you the program director, now the vice president. Dude, you've been a major help to everything, and
Thanks,
honestly,
man.
I don't think I could do this whole store thing without your support, man. Seriously, like this is gonna change both of our lives. It's gonna be amazing, you know.
Yeah, dude. Let's go. Shoot, move,
And like I was,
communicate, man.
hell yeah. Like I was talking to Mara the other day too, and I had a vet. I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about the dispensary, and how it's like, yeah, it's like, dude, you're gonna be rich. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, your girl's gonna try to take all your money and leave. I was like, dude, she
Oh
fell in love with me.
shit.
Yeah, it's like she fell in love with me when I lived in a shitty apartment that smelled like
Yeah.
fucking curry, and my cat had just fucking pissed on my box spring like 3 days before she first came over, and I had to throw the box spring away. So I had a mattress on the floor. It still smelled like fucking cat piss in my house, no matter how much I fucking cleaned it. And literally that night, I dropped my kids off, and they had trashed the fucking house. So by the time she got there, I was still cleaning the house, and I was getting ready to cook, and like, I'm like, dude, if she fell in love with me when I had almost nothing, we're good, and it's not gonna be a problem. She's one of the most supportive women that I've
You
ever met.
gotta you gotta work out a joke right there.
I know,
There
right?
is a
I gotta
premise
figure it
right
out.
there.
100%. I wrote it down too. Um, man, I've been writing a lot recently too, especially because this show is coming up, and if I'm the host, I have to have new material every show.
Yeah,
I
for
don't want
sure,
to do the
man.
same thing every single show. And every single stand up that I've done has been different. There's a lot of the same jokes in a lot of them,
Yeah.
but
You're
I've
working
never
shit
done the
out.
same
Yeah,
set. Yeah, 100%. I like to do about 70% good material and then about 30% new shit.
for sure.
And I think I told you this, but a couple weeks ago, I went up to go to the Silly Beaver at
Oh,
Beaver
yep,
Brewing
yep.
Company in St. Cloud. And I'm sitting down, and Jonah comes over. He's the guy that runs the show. He's like, "Hey man, our opener didn't show up. You want to do 5 minutes?" And I'm like, "Shit." I'm like,
Let's
"Well,
fucking
yeah,
go.
fuck yeah, let's go." And I just wrote down a bunch of shit real quick and just bullet points. And I tried a couple new ones, and it killed, man. Like I didn't think it was that good because I'm a critic, but I listened to the video, and these guys were cracking up. And there was one guy that was sitting right in front of Mara, and he was just dying. And I'm like, all right, cool. And it feels good because like people come up to you after the show and tell you did a great job, and then you get some of the comics. They ask you like, how long you been doing this? I'm like, I was like my seventh time, and they're like, seriously. Um,
Well,
the
charisma
min
goes a long way too, man. And you have that. It just wherever you're at, you can just turn on and go, and
well,
that
thank you,
helps
I
you.
appreciate it.
It does. It helps in everything
Well, you've traveled with me a lot too, and
for
there
sure.
I got to be on the whole time we're traveling,
Yep.
and like the usually after like a big trip, like the retreat or whatever, I take like 2 3 days. I don't talk to anybody because my
Yeah.
brain is just overloaded. But I think the ability to turn it on, with all the motivational speeches that I've done, it really does make the stage presence. It doesn't freak me out. I don't get on stage and lose my shit. And
I
that's the
do.
biggest thing. Hey,
When
you
you
did
brought me
good.
up, dude, when you brought, I
You
can't even
did
remember
fine.
the words that came out of my mouth, bro. Like I was like
Yeah.
shaking, like going up.
Well, it was like the first two sentences you said, you could definitely tell you were nervous, but once you got going, you were fine. And that
It
was one of
was
your first
my
speeches.
first time on a stage with a microphone in front
Okay.
of me.
Well, dude, you did just fine. You
Well, thank
recovered
you.
really quickly. It was definitely shaky at first, but you recovered so quick. You did a really good
Yeah, because
job.
I could hear the
And
shake in my voice, and I was like, "Stop being a bitch, talk louder."
well, it was perfect. And you told the crowd exactly what you needed to tell them, and you talked about the nonprofit and what we've done, and it was perfect because I don't like going up and talking about all the things that I do because I feel like a
Yeah, it's
douche.
like it's coming out of your mouth. It's like
Yeah.
let somebody else that it's been. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like I
I like
talked to
that shit
Tim.
too.
Tim wants to do some stuff like that too, and I'm like, absolutely. Um, but the big thing is like all you got to do is just get up there and do it.
For sure.
Like I pushed off comedy for so many years, And, the whole Ocean Row thing, literally my only regret is that I never tried comedy, because I've done everything else. I mean, yeah, if I were to have died, I would have been, felt pretty shitty
Dude,
about
I would have been so pissed.
leaving my family. Yeah, I know. Sorry. It's all yours now, dude.
Oh
You're
fuck.
if I die, dude, you're running this shit. You know that, right?
Oh my god.
But
We
no,
got to
like
keep you
obviously,
healthy.
like I was thinking about the family too. I don't want to.
Yeah, man.
I don't want people to think I wasn't thinking about my family at all. But aside from family, it was just stand up comedy, and I think it was like February something. Um, I had migraines for like 45 days straight, and that day I had a pretty bad headache, and I don't remember. We had a small argument with me and Mara, and I'm like, I'm gonna go do comedy. Like I was mad, and I go up, and the first joke that I tell is one of the most inappropriate jokes that I have, and
Mm.
I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna gross a lot of people out. And so I do okay. It wasn't bad. I didn't bomb. I got a lot of laughs. But that first joke, I lost everybody in the room.
Is it the shower
And
joke?
no, it was the
Oh, okay.
donkey.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
Um, let your imaginations play, people.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Um, but the funny thing, there was like a 10-year-old kid in the room, and I looked over and I was
Ooh.
just like, you know what? I would apologize, but you brought your kid to a comedy show.
This is
Fuck
your
it, it's
fault
time to
now.
educate this kid. So
Yep.
I was like, sex education starts now, buddy.
What can?
And
Yeah.
then the shower joke that everyone
Mhm.
cracked up at that, especially the punchline.
Yeah. That one.
But
That one killed at the show.
yeah, that's honestly one of my favorite ones, just because it's real and it actually happened. But like that's the kind of goofy shit that happens in Iraq and Afghanistan that like people tend to forget about because you only think about the negative shit.
Hmm.
You don't think about all the goofy stuff. And like my buddy Griswold, dude, for some reason, almost every day, dude, I'd wake up to go take a piss, and this little motherfucker is always like right behind me. He's like, "What's up, Ron? How you doing, man?" I was like, "What's up, dude?" And every time we go into the stall and I go to the urinal, he go to the one right next to me every time. We go, "Hey, Ron, nice watch, buddy." I'm like,
Oh
dude,
shit.
you're so fucking gay, dude. I love that guy. He's one of my favorites. He actually lives up by Minot, which I don't know why. Ugh, so cold up there. But shit like that, and all the goofy shit that you do, like we got in trouble for bodyboard surfing down. There was this giant we called it the quarry, but it was just a giant sand hill, and we'd take the
Yeah.
bodyboards off the fucking Humvees and we'd surf down the fucking sand in it.
Nice. Of course.
And there just so happened to be a drone flying over that one of the security forces guys was running. And we got called into the fucking commander's office, and they started cussing us out and shit. Like, that's not fucking safe. I'm like, come on, dude.
If you
Like,
didn't
we're out
want
here
us to
for
do it, you wouldn't give it to us.
I know, right? Dude, so we had a meme go viral. The one where it's like the military wouldn't expect us to do shenanigans if they gave away good conduct medals. And
Yeah.
it's like, I
Right.
see no
I
flaw
saw
in
that.
that logic. Dude, they got shared like somewhere around 4,000 times. And like the impressions on there was insane. Like our Facebook impressions was like over 1.5 million last week or last month. It
Nice.
was insane. But it's true, dude. If you really think about it, like, why would they give good conduct medals? Like, you get one every 3 years in the Air Force. Like, all you got to do is not fuck up. So it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of a stupid giveaway medal.
I
It's
don't
almost
have
like
one
they
of those.
expect us. Well, way to go, fuck up.
I have a reserve one.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I got one.
I,
I got half of one.
I think I got two. I'm not sure. No, I got my first one. The second one I didn't get it because I got an Article 15, a triple
Yeah.
nickel club. Whoopsie. But I also told a staff sergeant to go fuck himself. That probably wasn't
I
good.
mean, sometimes they just got to do that.
It's all good. Wait,
What do we got
talk
for
on the
comments?
talk on the kettle black. Now I can make that comment about being up north. Dude, so I was actually shocked when I went up to Minot for the jiu-jitsu seminar, and I was expecting some like tiny little town. It's not like that at all. Like it's pretty built up. It's actually a really nice town. Didn't you come with me?
I can't remember, man. Why
Hmm.
not?
No,
No,
it
I
was
went to
Greg. Greg,
Nebraska.
yeah, Greg came with me. And I was actually surprised. It was a lot nicer than I thought. The base itself is just it's an Air Force base. It's
Yeah,
nothing
base is a
special.
base, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, like it was surprisingly nice. I didn't expect that at all. I think the biggest issue that Minot Air Force Base has is like the manning, and it's just it's hard for a lot of those guys, because a lot of these guys are from like California, Florida, and you get put in a place like that, and seasonal depression is something that it's a very real thing.
Yeah, no sunlight. You need that
And
vitamin D, boy.
I know, right? That's why I tell people all the time, like if you get seasonal depression, like mega dose on vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C, go work out, go do all the things that you need to do to actually feel better. It's just there's too many guys that just still sit in the room, play video games, and it's like you got to get out, you got to go do something.
For sure.
They have a base jiu-jitsu program, which Brandon Grimes and Chief Cornelis, I think, are the ones that started it. And it's awesome. So it's free jiu-jitsu for active Air Force guys, and they have a giant jiu-jitsu room, which is awesome. So I'm hoping I'll be going up there soon and doing some more, because last time I was up there, I did one seminar, and then we had an open mat, and it was great. I think we had like 40 people show up. So they got a lot of really good guys up there too. But the problem is now, being a purple belt, when you travel, people target you. All the white belts want a piece of you. All the blue belts want to prove that they can tap a purple belt. All the purple belts want to fucking try to shit on you. The black belts and the brown belts, they just want to strangle you.
They want to put you in your place, yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember when I was a white belt, like I was terrified of brown belts. Like we had a brown belt come to a couple jiu-jitsu sessions in Iraq, and I was like a child. It's like just getting beat up by a grown-up, and I'm a child.
It's just like when I roll with you. Yeah, got it.
You did surprisingly well down in Cincinnati. Dude. I was very impressed.
You were like,
if I was going 100%,
holding me. I know you were like holding me. I'm like, I can't even move, bro. Like,
yeah. Well, for your lack of skill, and I only say that because you don't train.
I've never trained. Yeah.
Your lack of skill, your instincts are damn good. You were doing everything right. It's just I just have a lot more training. That's it. That's the only reason.
Just you're a child.
No, I mean I am like 60 pounds heavier than you too, but that doesn't help.
For sure.
How much do you weigh?
I don't know, like 155.
Yeah. I'm like 70 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
That plays a part. There was a couple months ago, there was a black belt that I was rolling with, and he was maybe like 160. And I have a very heavy top game. I like to smash, hold people down, let them fuck up, and then capitalize on their mistakes. And I was playing my top game on him, and I do a certain cross collar hold, and I pin them down to the mat, usually just using my fist, and I can move around a lot easier. And the guy was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like I was still a purple belt. And he's like, you should not be a purple belt. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 70 pounds heavier.
Yeah, you're just way stronger than him.
Yeah, I've been training a long time. I'm way bigger than you. He's like, yeah, but I'm a black belt. I should be able to destroy you. I was like, I've had over 100 matches, dude. Like I'm a competitor. I've been competing. I lift weights like 4 or 5 times a week. I was like, most jiu-jitsu guys don't lift weights, and a lot of them are, a lot of them don't. And I don't know why, because weightlifting directly corresponds to jiu-jitsu. They always say like you shouldn't use strength in jiu-jitsu. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, why would you not? And there's like a reason why they have weight classes. And
yeah, 100%. Like my tournament on Saturday, there's nobody in the 215 division, so I'm back up to 220. There's no point in cutting. Sure. So there was one guy at 230, but he backed out. So the only opponent that I have that's a brown belt is 170, but he's a senior, so that's like, I think that's 40 plus, and I'm in the Masters, which is 30 plus. So there's one guy that's at 200, and we're going to be doing the absolute division together, which is all the same belt but different all weight classes. Okay. So it's all the brown belts, and they all go against each other. But he's the only one that signed up. So I've texted like 10 friends that are brown belts. I'm like, dude, can you please compete so I can get some matches? And like, it's frustrating, dude. Like now that I'm a higher belt, I can't get competitors. So I got like 4 or 5 sworn enemies. My buddy Dustin texted me the other day. He's like, dude, I can't compete. My shoulder's jacked up. I'm like, damn it.
What about Mike? What belt is he?
Mike's a purple belt.
Okay.
So we need to get a rematch, because I think I just got promoted to purple, and we had just met, and they were going to sponsor our tour around the country. And he came out to like we were just randomly talking. I'm like, hey, I'm doing the grappling industries next. He's like, oh, me too. And I looked at my first match and it was Mike. And he's like, dude, he's like, all right, well, I guess we'll see. If you beat me, I'll sponsor you. And he fought pretty well. Like, he's strong as shit. He's way stronger
Yeah,
than
that's
me.
what I was thinking. He's friggin'
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. But I've been training way longer. And
Yep.
I was still a pretty new purple belt, but I'd been a blue belt for 6 years and I just got done fighting MMA. So I ended up, I think I got him with my signature armbar. And he definitely has told me a few times that he wants his blood. So I'm like, yeah, we'll roll again.
Do you ever do
He's
nogi?
just not really. We don't train nogi at our gym. I
Mm-hmm.
used to, but if you don't train it, you shouldn't do it.
Sure.
Because it's very similar to gi jujitsu. The only difference is the grips, right? So when you take off the gi, you can't grip anything. You can't grab their
It's all
shorts, their
grabbing
shirt.
body.
Yeah, yeah. So you lose a lot of your grips, and most of my game is grip game.
Yeah.
Because I got those carpenter hands and I got a grip of death.
Yeah.
Um, there's only like 2 guys in my gym that have stronger grips than me, and they're both black belts.
For sure.
Jerry, I don't think you've met Jerry. He's got a giant spider in his fucking head, but
Mm-mm.
he's worked at waste management for forever, and the dude's got grips like this guy's strong as shit. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird. I'm finally, he's always been way bigger than me because I used to fight at 170, so I'd sit right around like 185, 190, and now I'm 220, and I'm finally bigger than him, and he's still kicking my ass. Like, he's jujitsu's fantastic.
You got to think nogi is
But
probably a lot of wrist control.
well, nogi is almost all leg game now. That's all they
Okay.
do, and there's nothing against it. But it's all leg locks, heel hooks.
Oh,
They
I see.
sit
I
on their
see.
butt. They sit on their fucking butt right away, and the first thing they do is they scoot
It's
up to
the
you, and
that's so like
I
not
hate it.
fun to watch, dude.
I hate it. It's effective,
That
but I hate
meme
it.
where it's like jujitsu guys in a fight and they're just scooting their asses to each other.
Well, like when somebody breaks into a jujitsu guy's
Yeah,
house,
into
he's
his
like, "Hold
house and
on,
just
wait, let me go get my gi on and put your belt on and lay down on the ground. And I'll just scoot up
for
to you."
sure, for sure.
But no, I do like no gi. It's just I don't train it, so the grappling is the same. There's no big difference. The grappling, the only difference is the grips and the submissions. So you lose like 20% of the submissions with no gi because
Sure.
a lot of them are choking someone with their own gi. Um, in
That's
certain
that's
grips.
we learned that in the army for our little baby combatives that we had to do. And I
Yeah,
remember learning the collar chokes
yeah,
and I couldn't help thinking like as we're learning this I'm like this is really good if they're wearing a fucking collar. Like what am I going to
yeah,
do?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, people need to understand, like, jujitsu is the number one best self defense for women and for people who may not be the strongest. Because, for example, my 12-year-old daughter trains jujitsu. She's also a fucking giant. I think she's 5'8" now. Um, and she's about 160 ish, and she lifts weights with me and everything. So she's a little gangster. But about a year ago, I showed her it's called a catch move. There's catch moves in jiu-jitsu where like if you catch it right at the right time, you're going to win. And I
Sure.
taught her one. It's a cross collar grip when you have somebody in your guard, and then they break guard to the side, and then you karate chop, and it's essentially a top side cross collar choke. And I taught her that shit. And like a week later, this little fucker, she gets my collar grip, and I'm like, there's no way this fucker remembers this. And I go to pass, and right as I pass, she karate chops and locks it in. And I'm like, nope. And so I'm like, I told her I will never let you tap me ever. I was like, when you do, I'll celebrate. But so I sat there
But
and I
never let her,
fought it,
yeah.
dude. Bro, she put it on so quick. I tapped in like fucking 4 or 5 seconds.
Wow,
And I was like,
okay.
God damn it. And I looked at her and I was like, hey, give me a hug. And I gave her a big hug. I'm like, hey, you did that. I was like, I didn't give that to you. I did not see that coming. You locked it on perfectly. I was like, I'm so fucking proud of you, dude.
That's what's up, man.
And yeah, it was beautiful. But a fucking 12-year-old tapped
Yeah.
me out. I'm like, God damn it. That's why jujitsu is so amazing. It's like, it doesn't matter how much skill you have. If you learn a couple things here and there, your self-defense level skyrockets.
Yeah.
Because you think about like this. Let's say she trained Muay Thai or boxing for like 4 years or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she gets in a little bit better shape and everything, but she could still probably not generate enough force to fucking hit me and knock me out,
Yeah,
right?
for
She
sure.
can she could throw punches and everything, but I could take her down to the ground and strangle her, right? But
Sure.
with jujitsu, it's somewhere around like 90% of all fights end up on the ground. And if you don't know what you're doing on the ground, you're going to lose.
Yep.
You know, there's the other thought of a lot of jiu-jitsu guys think that no matter what, I can beat someone in a street fight. Yeah, but like Tyson said, you know, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I always tell people you should also train some sort of striking. Like I was pretty proficient in Muay Thai.
At least defensive, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like, and you know, I do have people ask me sometimes, like, well, what's the best thing you would do in a fight? I was like, I'd get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Not fight.
I'm the last person who's gonna fight
There's
anybody.
a Miyagi quote somewhere.
Well, you don't. There's no fair fight, right? Someone's gonna pull out a gun. You're gonna get shot. You know, how many times have we seen videos of people getting in fights, beating the shit out of someone? They go to walk away, and the dude gets up and shoots him.
Yeah.
Right. The winner is the one with the gun every time.
Yeah.
So avoid the fight and get the fuck out of there. There's no reason to fight.
When life gives you lemons, say fuck the lemons and bail.
Get the fuck out of there. But like, you know, it's the only time you should fight someone is if you have no other choice. You know, and and I've had conversation with Mara. Like, if we're at a bar and someone like talks shit to you or like says something mean, we're leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and play the fucking white knight and start fighting the guy for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because ow, this shit hurts. Fighting hurts. I don't like getting hit in the fucking face. It sucks.
It doesn't feel good to hit someone in the face either.
I mean, I disagree with you there. I
meant like emotionally, really you probably feel good, but like a fucking hand.
I like it, dude. I like the impact.
You're a weirdo, man.
I know. Like, here's the thing, man.
I got little hands, man. I'm not punching nobody.
Yeah, I got pretty big hands. But like, I always wore like 2X or 3X MMA gloves because the XLs never fit my hands. But no, like here's the thing. I haven't gotten in a fight since 2014, and that's because the person hit me with their car twice within fucking 30 seconds. So I was pretty pissed off, and I still regret doing it because there was no need for that. I could have just gotten in the car and drove off.
Lessons, man.
But when it gets to that point, do I like fighting? I fucking love violence. I love it. I fucking love it. But at the same time, I'm also not an ignorant dumbass, and I realize that you can't just be going out there and fucking swinging on people. It's not smart.
Sure.
Get in legal trouble. Plus, I'm the fucking CEO of a nonprofit. The last thing I need is going out there and getting in fights with people. It's stupid. Like, did you see that video? You know that guy Sneeko? Sneeko's like,
dude, yes.
Did you see that sparring thing with Sean Strickland?
I seen people commenting about it and all that shit. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I'm saying, like, here's the thing. I have two trains of thought in this, right?
Oh, here we go. Okay, let's do this.
Why? That's so stupid. Like, why would you do that?
Why would he put himself in that position?
Why would Sean Strickland do that? He's
a fucking fuck yeah. Let's have an argument about this.
Well, again, I have two trains of thought. So he's a UFC champion.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is it?
He's retarded. First off, he's retarded. Have you ever heard him speak?
He's a
so we got to come from that angle.
Sure.
Sean Strickland is not the smartest guy.
He's Dana White did a press conference and somebody said something about Strickland. So he's like, you can't have Sean Strickland around humans. He's like, it's not a rapper thing, it's a human thing. He's like, the guy's gonna pop off and say something stupid. But anyway, so here's the thing. Why would you do that? Because it doesn't prove anything. It's some stupid bully beatdown shit.
Yeah.
Now my other train of thought is Sneeko called this guy out.
Yep.
And he said, hey bitch, let's go. And Sean Strickland's like, fuck it, I'm a man, let's go. And they went at it. And
here's the man dance.
Sneeko took that beating like a
man.
He
did.
He didn't.
Did you watch the whole video?
Yeah.
So the whole time,
did you see Forrest Griffin come in and stop it?
I remember I was watching when I first watched it. I was like, "Is that fucking Forrest Griffin, dude?"
Yeah. I had to watch it like 3 times.
The PI, obviously.
Yeah.
No, but the whole time Sneeko's Sean's like, all right, give me everything you got. What do we got? Was it a 5-minute round? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
He let him go for 4 minutes. Yeah. It's right about now that you're realizing you're doing absolutely nothing to me. In about 1 minute, you're going to realize that you're going to be in a world of pain. He was giving him warnings. He was letting him know this is what is going to happen. You know, I know this is about to happen. And then he fucking wailed on him, dude.
Yeah, he didn't drop him though. Like
No.
Sean actually came up to him afterwards. He's like, dude, I was going at you, man. I was trying to drop you. You didn't go down. Good for you, man.
Did you
Like he
see?
gave him the props.
Did you see his face when he's just trying to catch his breath and realize where the hell he is,
Yeah.
and then he tries to be cool because he's like the red pill guy, and he's
Yeah,
like, "Why'd you throw in the towel?" Like he's just like trying to act cool, but he's still like, "I'm so happy I'm alive right now."
Because brain damage, dude. You're gonna get knocked out. It's not good for
I
you.
loved it. I love to see it. I want to see more of it. I want to see all that shit.
Yeah. And like I said, I have two trains of thought on it. You know, if someone came into my gym at Trax and said jujitsu doesn't work, I would give them a free jujitsu lesson and I would beat the living shit out of them.
Sure.
Obviously with no striking. But if
Yeah,
someone came in the gym and like tried to like spar and everything, I would fucking put gloves on and I'd go to town. Now I shouldn't be getting hit in the head, but
sure.
I'm pretty confident with somebody who
What's
just randomly walks in off the streets
It's
and
like
wants to challenge someone.
what are they trying to prove and what are you trying to
Yeah,
prove? You don't have anything to prove. Sean Strickland,
nothing.
this is where he trains. He
Yeah,
came there and you know, it's different than if somebody came up to you because you don't think like Sean Strickland does. He just
sure.
wants to fucking fight. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would do it if I was still fighting MMA and somebody came in the gym and challenged me. Yeah, 100%, I would, and I would probably do the same thing Sean Strickland said or Strickland did. Like I said, I have those two trains of thoughts. Like it's stupid and childish, but also fuck yeah, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I got the man brain in me too.
Let him
Like
fight.
violence, raw violence,
Let
raw.
him fight.
Yeah, and if two consenting adults want to fight,
Yep.
okay, let them fight. That's why, like, I think it's in Washington, legally in Washington, if
Mutual
two
combat.
willing, yeah, if two willing adults want to fight, they're allowed to fight in the street.
Isn't
And
Texas like that too?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, everyone in Texas has a fucking gun, so they're probably just shooting each other instead.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But like I as long as
What, we can't duel anymore?
I know, right? Just grab a glove and just I challenge you to a duel. But like think about like this. Think about how much nicer people would be if they knew mutual
Yes.
combat was a real thing.
Yes.
There's a lot of people out there that talk a lot of shit that definitely
Just
can't back it up.
have no real experience.
Yeah. I personally would never participate in that because it's not my life anymore. I don't care about that anymore. But if they came into the gym and challenged me in my
Sure.
gym, 100%, dude. I'll be the enforcer of that gym. 100%. Like there's a gym that I know of and people keep coming in their gym like black belts and brown belts and like hurting their people. I'm like, dude, stop letting people come to your gym. And it's like a gym rivalry thing. And it's so stupid. Like the
So
old school Gracie beatdown.
there's like a theme that's behind this and it's just conflict in general. And I think that the United States, people a lot of things are focused on like conflict resolution. Like you do that training when you're when you work for a corporation, they all have like HR people talk about conflict resolution and how you
Sure.
do all this stuff. And nobody really thinks about the utility of conflict, what it is in itself. What is the purpose of conflict? And it's information being exchanged with stakes. So you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
when it gets reduced down to a physical altercation, it doesn't mean that the person who wins is right. It means that the person who doesn't know how to fight shouldn't say some shit forcefully. There are other ways to go about that conflict other than that. There's a lot you could talk about with that. Who's commenting? What are they saying?
Scott said, I almost feel like we're having one of the men's meetings. Great conversation. I did a podcast with Scott. Like, what's up, Scott? And his podcast is great. It's probably, I don't know who Paul Peters is. That's pretty funny. Dude in the white probably goes to a bar and orders a glass of milk. I don't drink.
Juice.
Oh yeah, you're close. I'll take a water, please.
What is it? Your period?
He said it looks like a dude in the white looks like a wild boar is humping his face. Okay, that's cute.
Keep them coming. You got any more?
Yeah, let's go. I can take it.
That guy, yeah.
But no, so like you're dead on with conflict. I personally, I don't like it. I like to avoid, especially physical confrontation. I don't like to be
Sure.
involved in it. Now, when it happens, if I gotta open up and go back to old school Nick, I mean, I've done it before. It's just
Well,
not something I
there's
enjoy
better
doing.
ways as you mature, but it's not. You don't definitely don't want to be afraid of it, and I feel like that's what a lot of
100%.
people are afraid of, any kind of confrontation with anybody.
Well, that's why I think people should train martial arts, and
Sure.
that's why you should lift weights, and that's why you should be prepared, especially men. Men need to be prepared. There's all this talk about, men and women equality with sports and all that shit. It Talk to most female martial artists. They would 100% agree that men should not be fighting women.
Sure.
100%, and if you want to get into the whole LGBTQ thing, whatever,
I don't.
call it whatever you want, a bi man, whatever. I don't think if you're a biological male, you should be fighting a female. I don't think that should happen. If like with my daughter just did wrestling for the first time,
Hmm.
and there's not a lot of girls wrestling, so she ended up wrestling with a bunch of guys,
Yeah,
and
and
she
that's
was she
kids.
was fine with that.
Kids
Yeah,
is a
that's
little bit
kids,
different.
and it's not technically a combat sport or someone's
Sure.
going to get hit in the face, right?
Sure.
Um, and I've talked to her about it just to kind of get her idea of it, her 13-year-old brain,
Hmm.
which is always interesting. um, she's pretty down to it. She's like, boys shouldn't be fighting with girls. It's not okay. They're usually stronger than us. I'm like, good girl. I
Yeah,
was
she's
100%.
smart.
I was like, you got to
She's
understand
also
that
bigger than me.
she's a big kid, but you could probably whoop her ass. That's
But
what
there's
I'm
a
trying to
but
get her
you
to
know what I'm
understand.
exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, everyone should be prepared for physical conflict. I personally think that everyone should train some sort of martial arts, whether it be jujitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, just something, so you can defend yourself if the situation were to arise. But I also think that you should avoid conflict at all time. That it's just not necessary. There's
Yeah.
so many different things that can be solved with a conversation.
No,
Um,
I was even talking about conversations. Some people don't even
yeah,
want to have a conflict within a conversation. They can't
yeah,
handle somebody not, being having the same opinion as them.
sure.
That's why
And
when you brought up the Sean Strickland thing, I was like, oh no, do we have different opinions? Let's fucking fight about this.
no, we definitely have pretty similar opinions on most stuff. I don't know. It was a bad look, but at the same time, fuck it, let them fight. They're two consenting males. They want to go at
Yeah.
it, whatever. And if a female wants to fight a male, let them go at it. Like, did you see the whole Craig Jones and Gabby Garcia thing?
No.
So Craig Jones has been trolling Gabby Garcia. She's like some jacked, like 6 foot female MMA fighter.
Hmm.
She actually fights out in Japan, and some of the people, they have like freak show fights. So
Hmm.
this girl's like, she's like 6'1", 6'2", like maybe 240 pounds, just massively jacked, definitely on steroids. But she's fought like small guys. She's fought like professional, wrestlers and shit like that. And
I gotta
for the
look that
longest
up.
time, Craig Jones was challenging Gabby Garcia to a jiu-jitsu fight, and he made a shitload of memes. Like, who is the guy from Mortal Kombat with the forearms? I can't remember what his name is. He's like
Goro.
the main. Yeah, I think Goro was it. I'm not 100% sure. If any of you guys are listening, if you can remember who that is, but he put a meme up with her face on Goro and him,
Oh
like this
shit.
tiny little dude standing in front of her getting ready to fight, just talking mad shit. But Gabby was all over it too. She was laughing at it. But they talked about doing like an 80cc match between the two, and I think that'd be hilarious.
I'm watching
But
it.
the
Yeah,
thing is,
let's go.
she's a female and she wants to fight a dude. Let her fight a dude.
Exactly.
If they want to do it, I think let them do it. That's the big thing. Like, when people ask my political beliefs, like, just let people do what they want to do as
Nobody
long
should
as it
be
doesn't hurt others.
forced to do anything, but if they want
100%.
to.
Yeah. Don't force people to do shit they don't want to do. That's it.
I
Simple.
don't understand how that's not understood. Like,
It's pretty basic. Like, I don't want to pay taxes, but the IRS be knocking on my damn door if I don't, so I do it.
I gotta do
But
that.
I'll send you my tax guy. The guy's Joe. Joe's awesome. He does all my shit. He does all the stuff for the nonprofit and my personal stuff too. He's also going to be our accountant for the dispensary
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Joe's a great guy. Shout out to Alpha Financial. But yeah, those guys keep me out of jail. But no, like, it with verbal conflict, especially over the last like 6 or 7 years. It's gone so polarized where it's
It's
like if you have a difference in political beliefs and you don't believe everything I do, you're the enemy.
yeah.
What
I mean,
happened to
it's
just
always
disagreeing?
been slightly like that,
Yeah.
but now it's just so much more intense. And I think it has to do with social media and the
Oh,
fact
sure.
that people didn't used to really know that about other people. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd see it when it came time to like voting time, bumper stickers, all that kind of stuff. But now we're like fucking in each other's shit from the
Yeah.
time we wake up till we go to bed. It's just, I could talk to somebody, anywhere in the world instantly. And
Yeah.
that's makes things so much more intense.
Sure. Yeah, and the thing is, like, whatever happened to just disagreeing, leaving it at that.
You'd be
You
like,
can have a
"Oh,
conversation and disagree. You don't have to argue,
that guy
you
likes to
know.
see homos naked. I don't know how that helps me none. Home
Oh,
is
good
where
Joe
you
Dirt.
make it.
It's good Joe Dirt reference. Like me and my mom, my stepmom Lisa, we have very, very different political ideals, but a
Mhm,
lot of it, she I'm very in the middle. I
mhm.
I believe that everyone should be left alone. Let me smoke weed and carry a gun at my gay friend's wedding. Just leave me the fuck
Yep.
alone. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what I have to do. Um, she can be very like she's very anti A2, and I'm definitely not. So
What
but
a
we
anti
can
what?
have anti A2, Second Amendment.
Oh shit. Okay. Pew pews. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And we were talking about recently, I think it was the Roseville School District. They put a new bill out essentially saying that law enforcement isn't allowed to use any kind of force against children, meaning that that cop being there legally can get sued for interacting or intervening at all. So they
Sure.
pulled all of the police liaisons out of the school. Recently, they reversed that and put them back in, which is great. But she's like, we don't need guns in schools. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
what
so
happened?
hot. Such a hot topic.
Yeah, and here's the thing. My mom is one of the nicest, sweetest people. She works in education.
Hmm.
She's extremely smart, but she's untrained with weapons. She's never
Sure.
fired a gun. I've
Sure.
invited her to come to the range with me. She won't do it. And I respect her. And the difference is me and her can sit down and have a conversation about politics, and not one of us gets offended. Not
Yeah.
one of us argues. We don't raise our voice or anything like that. What happened to that?
I don't know, man.
The
I think
last couple of
it's a
years, it's
lack
just
of
gotten
empathy.
I think that's a big part of it. I think so. And I
It's like
disagree with a
obviously
lot of
people form their opinions because of their identity.
yeah. Yeah, and how you're raised and your education and your life experience. That's a big part of it.
Exactly.
And if people just start, like you said, using empathy and realizing that, hey, this person didn't grow up like I did. This person hasn't seen the
Exactly.
things I've seen. So let's find common ground and let's either try to make an exception or
Hmm.
just say, well, we disagree.
Well,
Just
you
leave it
just
at that.
come at it from that just that perspective, like especially if you know that you're going into an area or talking to a kind of person, like as soon as they start telling you their opinions, you can kind of understand where they probably came from. So if you
Sure.
know that, you you have to be able to bridge that gap and be like, okay, I already know that they just don't have the experience that I do. So they couldn't
Yeah.
possibly form the same opinions as me.
Well, like when I was pushing jujitsu on my daughter, she was so, well, what about like T-ball? Like, she's not gonna play fucking T-ball. How's that gonna help her in her life? Remember, this is my daughter. I'm gonna raise her the way I want to.
Yeah.
And again, not at all saying anything negative about me and my mom. We have different viewpoints on
Yeah.
parenting and
It's
stuff.
just
That's
how it
really about
works,
it.
man.
She's very supportive. She's one of the most supportive people of this nonprofit. Initially she was very like, "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing?" Because she's looking out for me. But then once she saw that, hey, this thing is actually real, she's been my biggest support system. She's the one person that I know I can call anytime if I really need to talk about something. I love my mom. Um, and we just disagree on certain things. That's the thing. Like
And that's okay,
when she,
man.
when she finally saw my daughter wrestle, and she went to a an all girls tournament on the last tournament of the year, and we didn't know until we got there. It was a high school tournament. She's in seventh grade, and she won her first match by pin within like a minute. And I
Damn.
fucking cried screaming. I was so excited, dude. I had
That's
to go
badass.
apologize to the coach because I was telling her what to do and coaching her. Even though wrestling and jiu-jitsu are very different, she listens very well. and she did everything I told her to, and she got the pin. And I went over to the coach, was like, I'm sorry. I said I'd never be that dad. I didn't mean to scream over you, but he's not the kind of coach that's loud. And Nadine needs
Sure.
somebody to scream at her, because I tend to yell a lot, not always in anger, just, we're always goofing around, screaming at each other and shit. And my daughter is very similar to me, and we have very similar personalities. So at my last show, speaking of my daughter, fucking squirrel, I told a joke talking about my kids, and I'll tell it. But so this actually happened. I'm driving in the car with this little shit. She was maybe 9 years old at the time, and we're always joking with each other. We're always jabbing each other, and it's constantly making fun of each other and goofing off and having fun, laughing. It's a lot of fun. She's the best
I think
kid
you
in the
told
world.
me this one, man.
I love this kid. So I'm on the phone with her teacher, and her teacher's like, "What's the best number to reach you?" I was like, "Well, I always got my phone by my side." I was like, you can always call me on my phone. It's always by my side. She's like, "Your wife left your side." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta go. I hung up the phone and I looked at her. I'm like, I don't know whether to fucking punch you or high five you, because that was rude as fuck. But it was
Perfect.
also perfect comedic timing. I was like, that was pretty
Yeah.
fucking funny.
Oof.
And I'm sitting there just,
It hurts. That's
I'm
how you know it's
gripping the
good.
steering wheel. I'm like, this little fucker just burned me, right? Oh, I was so pissed. And finally, I just leaned over and I put my hand up and we high fived. I was like, you little shit. I was like, okay, you don't say shit like that to other people. And she's like, okay, I know. I'm just being goofy. I was like,
Just
that was
being a dick.
pretty fucking funny, dude. That actually got a great laugh too. But like, anyway, so when I started pushing her more on jujitsu and I started showing her some of the videos, and I'm like, she's good at this and she likes it. She's like, yeah, but she needs to have like team camaraderie. It's like, what the fuck do you think all of her training partners
Yeah,
are?
it's a
Like,
team, man. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like 70 fucking kids at this school. Like, that's her team. It
It's
doesn't always
actually
have to
better,
be
I think, because it's a team environment and then you go out and do it individually.
exactly 100%. And she still does team sports. She does volleyball, wrestling. She still does jujitsu. She thought about soccer, but I'm like, soccer's fucking stupid. I'm like, I don't want to sit and watch soccer games, dude. Plus, her cardio sucks. So I'm glad she backed out of that. But like, now that she kind of sees my viewpoint, she's changed her thoughts on it, and she's coming
Sure.
to the tournament on Saturday. Nadine's got her first jiu-jitsu tournament. I'm super excited. So it's like when you're having a verbal conflict with somebody, you don't always have to change someone's mind, but you're
Yeah, I
not
was
going to
just
change
thinking that.
someone's mind. You're not going to change someone's mind by being a dick and arguing.
Just incremental exposure, probably.
Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect way to put it. And with her and jujitsu and everything, once she finally saw like how much Nadine actually loves this, like after her first wrestling match, she won her very first match. And she ran out to me. She's like, "Dad, when's the next jiu-jitsu tournament? I'm ready. Let's do it." I'm
Let's
like,
go.
"Yes!" I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I was like, "Yes!" Got a little badass. And this kid, I talked to her coach at the end of the wrestling season. I'm like, "Dude, whatever you're doing, you guys are killing it." I was like, "These kids have drastically increased. Most of them was their first year wrestling." And I'm like, I'd love to come on as an assistant coach next year. So it's not official yet, but I'm hoping next year I'll be an assistant coach for Roseville Middle School next
Yeah,
year.
we definitely got to figure out human cloning because you got to be in a lot of places.
I know, dude. I know. It's frustrating. I've gotten better at saying no last year, but like, I don't know. Sometimes how I get fired up, and I'm just like,
I
"Oh, let's
know.
go." It kind of sparked me again the other day, just randomly, and I was on the website. Which again, go to warriorsnextadventure.com, go to our store and check out our new merchandise. Me and Mara were lifting weights the other day, and I didn't realize she was wearing one of those female crop tops that we sell,
Hmm.
and the Live a Life of Purpose. And so we went in the posing room, and we took some photos and shared it, and so I could show off the female crop tops and everything.
Nice.
And fucking Nicole actually is like, "I think Mara's got bigger arms than you." I was like, "You son of a bitch."
Oh shit.
No, she doesn't. But like, the funny thing is, me and her did a thick thigh challenge last year. So we
Yeah, I
wanted to
remember that.
see,
You were really pumped
who
about
could
that.
do. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna crush her. And she's like, "I got bigger legs than you." I was like, "No, you don't." I was like, "You're 5 feet tall. I'm 6'2", 220 pounds. You don't have bigger legs than me."
Proportionally,
So
she does though.
proportionally, yes, she does have bigger legs. But we measured, and I was like, I think I was like 2 inches bigger than her in my thighs. And so we did a 6-week challenge to see who could grow their legs the most. And so I was doing legs 2 times a week.
Yep.
And I was pushing hard, dude. And I think I ended up growing.
Is that
It was
T
like
or no
3.
T?
I mean, it was on T because I have to take it. But
I know.
she told me, she's like, you're a cheater. You're on testosterone. I'm like,
Yep.
I don't produce testosterone. I need it. Like, don't get mad at me. But
I am
I ended up
disabled.
I think I ended up growing like 3/4 of an inch, and she grew like a half an inch. I'm like, that's fucking impressive. I was like, the fact that we both grew like that,
That
and we
is
just needed to poke each other a little bit.
healthy
And
competition, man.
yeah, dude. And she was talking about biceps too. I was like, you don't want to fight me on biceps. I'm gonna
You
destroy
want to
you
go
with that.
here?
Yeah. I was like, nah, dude. But for a woman, she's fucking jacked, dude. I mean, you've met her. And
Yep.
she tries to put me through some of her workouts, dude. I can't do it. I can't keep up with her.
If she wasn't so soft spoken, she'd be so intimidating.
She can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah. When she's mad, I'm just like cowering, like, oh shit, here we go. She's gonna yell at me. But no, like she does a lot of like kettlebell workouts and like HIIT workouts, and that's not my style. I'm not a high intensity workout kind of guy. I'm a fucking lift heavy shit, set it down, take a break kind of guy. And it works for me.
So cardio, got it.
No cardio.
I know.
But no, like the other day, last year I was just plagued with injuries. I broke my own ankle in a jiu-jitsu tournament, and then in June last year, I tore the tendon off my bone in my elbow, and my back got jacked up in September. So I really declined a lot in my strength. And yesterday I was at the gym, and I finally got 225 8 times the other day on bench, and it just I was so proud of myself. Like it doesn't. I tell people all the time to normalize being proud of yourself. Do things that you're proud of, and it's okay to be proud of yourself, right? They always say, Christians especially, how pride is a sin and all that stuff. To a certain extent, I don't think being proud of yourself is a bad thing, right? If that's all you do, oh, I did this, I'm proud of this, blah, blah, yeah, you're a douche. But if you internally can recognize things that you've done and you're proud of those things, that's not a bad thing, right? That's just checking in to see like what progress am I making? It's okay to be proud of your progress, especially for like addicts. There's nothing wrong with being proud of being sober. But if that's all you have, you just do more, right?
Sure.
Have another goal on top of that. Like when I complete a goal, I immediately create another one. I can't
rest on it.
Coast. No, not at all. And I celebrate it. And people that celebrate their sobriety, fucking awesome. I'm proud of you, right? Because I'm fucking, what was it, 2024 now? I'm 13 years sober from opiates.
Nice.
I haven't touched one in 13 years. I don't really drink anymore. I'll have a shot or two here and there, but I think in the last year I've had like 10 drinks. It's just not.
Yeah. I went years without drinking. I never counted a day.
Yeah. And the thing is too, if addiction runs your life and you got sober, you should be proud of that.
Yeah, there's this difference. Yeah, for sure. If you need to like track that because it's something that's been controlling you for so long, then that's good and you should do that. But and it's almost a different challenge every day then.
Yep. But I think that's why you should give yourself more challenges,
Yep.
And I tell people all the time, if you're not failing at a challenge, you're not trying hard enough. You're not making big enough goals. And I've told people I've failed more in the last 6 years than I have my entire life, and I'm more successful than I've ever been.
And we don't we revisit those and change the see what didn't work and then revamp it. Maybe you don't even want to do that thing anymore that you failed at. Or maybe
like when I got knocked out in 2018, my last fight, that was 100% a failure. But I also reevaluated and realized that my brain health is more important than being a fighter.
Sure.
So I'm done.
And just changing what you consider to be a failure, even.
Yeah, and I just think people.
That's not a failure. That was a success with a fucking disaster. Because I remember when I asked him, like, would you want to do it again? And you, at the time, said no. I don't know if that'll ever change, but
it's still a no. But I can't say that it won't change.
Well, I would never fucking do it. I would never fucking do it. So from the beginning, I was like, it's crazy.
If I were to do it again, it'd be solo. Because that would be a mental battle that I need to have.
And then you're just gone and nobody knows.
Yeah. It's just drifting a sea.
Fuck
And I
that.
would definitely do it in a better boat.
You know,
Oh,
but
by the
how
way,
would you have known? It looked
well,
like it was a good boat. It was supposed to be a good boat.
yeah, it's just there was some issues with the manufacturer, and we found out after the fact that the boat shouldn't even been on the ocean.
Oops.
So there was another spindrift that was getting ready to do the 2023 summer row of the
Mm-hmm.
Pacific, and they had to completely redo their boat because they realized how many issues there were with the spindrift model. But anyway, the documentary is supposed to be coming out in the next like 2 months, and
Okay.
they're going to send me a copy, so I'll actually get the first copy of it.
Nice.
So when that comes out, I might do a little viewing party so everyone can see it, and then
Sure.
we're on it. We're pushing for Netflix, dude.
Okay.
So and we are going to be sharing the Warriors Next Venture information at the end of it, and Bryant is fucking pissed, but whatever.
Who's that?
He also the CEO of Fight or Die.
Oh.
He
So
also
yeah,
sent a
what's up with
text
that?
message to the reporter that did the special on me back in September
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't realize that that special was about me and the work I do for veterans. It wasn't
Sure.
just about Fight or Die. And so he texted him or emailed him, whatever, just getting all pissed off. And what's up, Andrew? Andrew from Houses of Warrior or Houses for Warriors over in Colorado just said, what's up?
Nice,
I
dude.
don't know if that's him or a social media person, but tell Andrew I said hello and he has a nice butt. Um, but no, like he texts the reporter and is like, "Oh, Warriors Next Adventure had nothing to do with this row," and I'm like, the whole team was Warriors Next Adventure members. Like half of your donors came from Warriors Next Adventure. The person from Warriors Next Adventure got the sole sponsorship. Like it was my whole team that did all of that. I was like, so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to say that we weren't a part of it, that's a full face lie.
Yeah.
And Greg actually, the reporter, is like, it sounds like that team wouldn't have even happened without Warriors Next Adventure.
Well,
So I don't see what you're
they
talking
would
about.
have had somebody else and would not have had been
Yeah,
as big of a thing.
but it wouldn't have been us,
Yeah, it
and
would have been somebody else.
he
Just
straight up
like it
told
is
him
this
too,
year
like,
or whatever.
yeah. And he straight up told him too, like, this isn't about Fight or Die. This is about Nick. This is about
Sure.
him and his experience and his love for helping veterans. That's what this is about. And so it just left a bad taste in my mouth and it pissed me off. So it's like, you know what? I'm just completely separated from those guys. And again, not shitting on them.
Yeah, they're
They
still doing
do
good
a lot of
shit.
good. They
Yeah.
give scholarships to people that are going to
Fuck
school
yeah.
for mental health. They're doing a lot of great shit. I just don't get
It's
along with
just a
their
thing,
CEO.
man. It's
Yeah,
just a thing.
it's all good. You don't have to like everybody. And I'll probably get some flack for saying this shit on the podcast. I don't really care. And the thing is, I try to get along with everybody, but
Sometimes you just
if
don't, man.
yeah, and it happens. And I don't like when people don't like me. It doesn't upset me, but
No.
I want people to like me. But
Yeah,
if you
everybody
don't,
does, dude.
yeah, if you don't,
Otherwise,
I'm
you're
not
just
going to lose
walking
sleep.
around like, oh, fuck everybody. Nobody likes that guy anyway.
Nah, dude, it's not a way to live your life. Like I generally want people to like me. But I'm not gonna not be myself to get people to like me.
Exactly.
So I when I talk about like Buddhism and stuff like that, in full disclosure, I'm not a Buddhist. I swear too fucking much and I like meat. So I can never, you're not gonna see me in a robe anytime soon. But I learned a lot of knowledge that helped me heal from that book, Buddhism Plain and Simple. It's a great book. And a lot of people don't realize Buddhism was never made to be a religion. It got turned into like religious practices as it spread across the Eastern world and everything.
Mhm.
But initially, it was just a way of life. It's just a way to live your life in a peaceful manner, and I like that. I tend to be nice to people, and they kind of revised the golden rule. Do unto others as you want done unto you, right? But there's a flaw in that rule because if you think about it, I like to be hugged, so I hug other people.
Sure.
Some people don't want to be fucking hugged. I don't
Yeah.
like to be touched, so I don't touch people. Like I don't want people to shit all over me, so I don't shit on people.
Yeah. Some people are into that.
Figuratively and literally. It's not my thing. What's that called? A Cleveland steamer? No thanks. I'll pass. But no, like I try not to say mean things about other people. I try not to put other people down because I don't want people to do it to me.
Yeah.
And generally, if you meet somebody and you're friends with somebody and all they do is talk shit about someone else, they're probably doing it to you too.
Exactly.
And that's not the kind of people I like to be around. And if I catch people doing it, I usually will say something.
Yeah, and nobody's living everything that they think all the time, and that's why
Sure.
it should be. I think we've both probably had times where we have called each other out on something that we didn't notice that we were doing.
Dude, you call me out more than anybody I ever know.
I'm sorry, I'm
And
a
I
dick.
appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. I see. Here's the thing, man. A good friend isn't someone that's just going to go along with everything that you do. A good friend is someone's going to slap you upside the head when you're being a fucking idiot.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of people I want around. That's why Judd is my board member, is because he's a fucking cheerleader. He's going to fucking root for everything that I do. But if I do something stupid, he's going to be the first one to call me and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and Rob's he's just a good secondary, good guy. He's got a lot of connections, he's perfect. And then having you as the VP, you call me out on shit and you keep me in check and you call me when I'm fucking, spacing out or whatever. So here's the thing, like I built a team for this nonprofit to keep things running smoothly. And I have certain people in this team to keep me in check. And then the ambassador program, which is kind of slowed down a little bit, but when we really start getting rocking and rolling this year, it's gonna really expand. But
I have some ideas about that.
um,
So we
like what?
can. Oh, let's just do it right now. Okay, fine.
Might as well. I
Oh,
do got to go in like 10 minutes. So I got to go get my
I
kids.
gotta
I guess.
pee, bro.
Yeah, you're fine. Hold it.
No, I will. No, but I was just thinking, as far as uh, kind of just it's gonna be some like administrative type shit. So I don't even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think once we get the office, we need
Exactly.
to plan a date to sit down and really go over some stuff. And like I said, when my mom retires, she's actually going to come over to Warriors Next Venture and she's going to be our treasurer.
Okay.
Which I'm a little nervous about because she's very by the book, strict, like
Fuck yeah,
keep me in
dude.
check, like which is good. And I'm more of a lackadaisical,
Definitely.
just living life on the edge kind of thing. So it's good to have those balances and checks, and with having her help out with certain stuff. Like I'll still do the marketing, I'll still do the social media, the shit like that. But she's going to focus more on fundraising because we don't have somebody designated for fundraising because
Definitely.
we're more focused on the mission.
And allocation of everything,
Yeah.
deadlines, all that kind of shit. I think is something that we're gonna practice a lot with the Warriors Garden, and it's gonna transfer over to Warriors Next
100%.
Adventure.
Yeah. And the fact that we're going to be having thousands of dollars come in, and we can start donating that money to the nonprofit and take care of stuff that, so we don't have to go get donors all the time, which I still want to do because I don't want to be the only one funding it. But the beautiful part is, when we really start rocking and rolling with this dispensary, we're gonna have a ton of money to do so many things that I've wanted to do.
So much more
And
room for
eventually,
activities.
in the next like 5 years, man, that Warriors Ranch is gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen, man. I tried in 2022, but it just wasn't the right time.
It was not ready yet. Yeah, definitely.
But I think with the store running, and once we get some pretty decent employees and everything, and we have the store running just fine, we open store number 2.
Yep.
And once we get both stores just kind of running themselves, then we can really hardcore focus on what we're trying to do. Get ourselves a good GM for both stores, get like 1 or 2 managers for each store, and then, a couple, guys just doing register stuff. For the most part, we're going to be free to do whatever we want. And I know you're just like me. We're going to spend a lot of time on the nonprofit, when we have the freedom. So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to sit and chat with you, man. I haven't talked to you in a while, and we haven't done a podcast in a long time. And I've had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, when are you going to do another podcast? And now that Mara is actually going to work, I have my computer space back. So we're all set up, and I know, right? I got my command center back. I just got to put my whiteboard back up so I can start writing shit down. Oh, real quick, by the way, I got the perfect photo for the bathroom at the dispensary.
Okay.
I'm going to hang up this picture. I just saw it over here and I forgot about it. So from one of the best movie scenes ever, this is going to be hanging up in the men's room wait, let me make sure it's up right. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
That's amazing. And then Greg, I was talking to Greg the other day. He's like, dude, you totally got to get a bunch of like just pictures printed about dogs pooping because it's just goofy. The dog pooping calendar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of pictures from videos or from movies with like funny like poop scenes, and I'm going to just put a bunch of pictures on there. So instead of having like regular photos, we're going to have a bunch of dumb shit in there because I want it to be professional and everything like that. But at the same time, like we're goofballs. Like I'm not going to not be myself just because we got a store. But either way, dude, congratulations again for getting the VP slot. I appreciate
man.
you. I can't think of anyone else who'd be better for the job, man. So I love you, dude. It's good to see you again. Good
Love
to
you,
chat
man.
with you.
All right.
And thank you for helping me run this thing.
For sure, man.
All right, man. Guys, we'll be back on soon. Again, once the Warriors Garden's open, we're going to be opening up a podcast studio, and we're hoping to get a lot more going. Now that I have some things, that are working a little bit better, I plan on getting on and doing this a little bit more. Now that I'll actually be home a little bit more often during the day. I'm going to try to I'd like to do one a week. So I'm going to try to get back to that. So hopefully we can start getting some more content out there. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope your ears aren't ringing too much from all the F words. I try to do my best, but you'll live. The main thing I want to put out for most of these podcasts is to just remind veterans out there that there's always somebody to talk to. You can reach out to us, call the Veteran Crisis Line, go to the VA, get your help. I know it's a pain in the ass. And for all the veterans out there that don't know, a VSO is a veteran service officer that's paid by the county to fight the VA for you. So you have help out there. If you don't know what to do to get your VA claim, reach out to me and I can help you get started. We have a couple VSOs that help us out with what we do. The biggest thing in the world is, if you don't have a purpose, that's your purpose. You need to find it. Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything, Josh?
No, that's it, man. Later, brother.
All right. Love you, man. See you guys.
Love you, man. Bye.